It's been a minute since I've uploaded, so to the 20 people consistently watching these videos, I sincerely apologize. My village was attacked by a small gang of murderous peanut butter covered babies. We thought we'd be able to handle the assault with ease considering they're babies, but the peanut butter made them camouflage with their surroundings extremely well and very slippery. After trying different methods to push them back, we squeaked away with a close victory through a war of attrition that lasted months with no internet. But I'm back, baby, with a vengeance that could only be satiated by playing a game that would emulate the survival state my mind and body have been in over the past couple months. Perfect timing for a game like Sons of the Forest.
Oh, shizzle.
Sons of the Forest is a forest-type game by indie developer N Night Studios. And when I say forest-type game, I mean this.
2 hours later.
The game looks a lot like this when you're playing alone, but a lot like this when you're playing with friends.
Are you still swimming? Whoa! Oh, here it comes.
Oh, you just wait. Just give it a second.
Oh, here it is.
Here it comes.
Now, I never played the first game, so I can't speak on how different these games play when compared next to each other, but after watching a very brief video showcasing the first one, it's pretty much the same thing. From what I could find, they upgraded the crafting system to work a whole lot better and drastically improved the AI scripts, which can be showcased here. Without knowing anything more about this game, it was time to embark on my journey. I'm not sure which of these crashes is more horrifying, but what an immersive experience. Wow! After experiencing some more crashes and making some fatal mistakes, I had to restart a new world a couple times and hope to catch my bearings for real this time. As deserted as this lovely island getaway may seem, it's actually inhabited by a vast group of ladies and gentlemen that I'd hesitate to call folk. This nudist colony may have a keen sense of comfort and decor. This chair is made of butt. But don't be fooled. They'll fuck you right up given the chance. But fret not. Not only are you equipped with emergency gear to fight these demons, what a fucking corny ass character intro by the way, I fucking hate him. But you're also not alone. Introducing KELVIN. Look, I don't know what KELVIN did before being casted on this fucked up edition of Naked and Afraid, but this jack of all trades is a master of all of them too. This motherfucker is a premier lumberjack, fantastic gatherer, he can grab fish out of water with his bare fucking hands. Holy shit! With a man this powerful, it's no wonder the developers chose to limit him during the helicopter crash. This crash caused severe trauma to his brain, making him lose the ability to hear and speak. Kind of like my brother when I ask him to do something for me. But unlike my brother, KELVIN actually follows orders when I give him something to do. A quick sketch on this notepad and bad bitch alert, bad bitch alert.
Sir, there's been a reported sighting of a bad bitch on the island, described as having 3 arms, 3 legs, and an unbelievable curtsy.
Damn, shoddy, why don't you come closer so I can clothe you and feed you? It must be miserable on this island alone. Please let me help you. I promise I mean no harm. After pleading and shitting and farting hard enough, Shoddy, evidently named Virginia, finally came through to the crib after giving me a peace offering. I'm not trying to brag, but throughout the game, we went on a couple dates, but I can't really show you what they were like as it would break YouTube's terms of service. Not my fault her leotard goes translucent when it rains, but she didn't seem to mind, so I didn't either. Actually, I think we may have fallen in love, and I think KELVIN might be a bit jealous of her. I guess this might be less of an episode of Naked and Afraid and more like Love Island after all. I spent some time getting the crib set up, our own little home away from home, and life started looking up for this little gang of misfits. I collected some gear, including a flashlight that would be super helpful considering the game's brightness goes from see nothing bozo, get fucked immediately to flashbang orgy. The settings are hard to use to improve this too, since the caves are so dark and the overworld is so bright, especially during winter. Also, side note, I played this on the lowest settings and still got constant frame rate issues and game freezing, which was made so much worse in the winter seasons. My PC isn't a beast, but it's no schmuck either, so I was surprised at how shitty the performance was. After getting the flashlight, it was time to do do some spelunking. I told Special K to hold down the fort and ran off to find a cave. A treacherous journey into the dark introduced me to the horrors that are the cave mutants. I was hoping these guys might be Virginia-esque in their temperament, but I was proven wrong when these fuckers started trying to slap me around. Not to mention these fuckers. Fellas, you're at the bar with your girl and you get up to use the John. When you return, you see this fella talking your girl up, and she's smiling, hell, maybe even a giggle. What you doing? Let's see what's at the end of this cave, shall we? A bit more exploration led me to the rope gun, which I used to Indiana Jones my way out of there. I then came across another cave that resembled the first one heavily, which is a theme you may notice. This one led me to the rebreather tool. This would allow me to swim underwater without worrying about the whole, drowning thing. I use it to hop out of the cave and head on home. Now you might be thinking, underwater breathing tool, what else might you use that for? Well, earlier while I was exploring, I noticed a raft off in the distance, and I'd need to be able to breathe to get there and uncover its mysteries, but we'll get there later. First, there's one more cave we have to spelunk. I head down and get lost in nondescript cave number 3 and work my way through it, finding a plethora of supplies and a shovel that would let me dig down into the marked dig sites around the island. After acquiring this shovel, it was time to do some digging and time to do some swigging. Digging led me to a maintenance bunker that was more than meets the eye. Low-key, some parts of it were rather luxurious and allowed me to use a high-tech 3D printer to make some shit. Who knew these cannibal tribes could be so forward-thinking? I grab a key card, a brand new axe, and head on my way into bunker number 2. At bunker number 2, I explored around the area, wheeling and dealing till I find a crossbow, nice, some food bites, tasty, and a nice dress for my new EGF. Consent. After showing Ginny the wonders of real clothing, I thought it was about time to go check out what was on that motherfucking raft from before. Swimming out there scared the living fuck out of me. I'm deathly afraid of open water like this, not particularly because of sharks or anything. It's more that idea that below me is a dark mass mystery and, you know, anything could be lurking feet below me, waiting for the right moment to whisk me away. Or sharks. And yes, that's me shooting a motherfucking Glock at that Jaws ass looking ass. I don't know what raft guy was doing out here, but I guess keeping that thing on him wasn't enough to keep him alive. Rest in peace or whatever, bozo. But mostly, thanks for the pistol. Thanks. At this point, I was kind of at a loss. I'd acquired so many items, I built my crib, I won the girl. What else even was there for me to do? A consultation of the wiki told me there was an entire other side to this island. And over there would it be that I could find the missing pieces of this puzzle and finish with my time here in New Zealand. This is where my issue with the island size really came to a peak. The developers tout this island as being around 4 times bigger than the last map. How that seems to have translated is 4 times as big and 4 times less things in it. There is an unbelievable amount of distance between any given point A, point B area, and the lack of real enemy threat throughout the game, especially once you get mid-game weapons like the pistol or the shotgun, which I have now by the way, makes it so that setting your roots and building a base actually hurts you in the long run. It's better to stay mobile and never settle down, making small save and rest points as you go, and I hate that.
No way that killed me. I have to do this whole run again.
A 25-minute walking simulator and another bunker later, all that was left for me to do was 2 more bunkers. The bunker closest to me at this moment contains goodies and a special door that requires something called golden armor to open. That, however, is all the way down here. So, time for more walking. I'm gonna use this moment to mention a bug that I found.
Small thing, and I don't know why this game does this, but the audio, when it's raining and I'm near a flowing river, glitches out and sounds probably like one of the worst noises I've ever heard in my life. Because it's trying to play both audios at the same time, but they contradict each other so much that it just goes...
Onto the bunker. I hop inside and start looking around, delving a bit deeper into it, until I notice a door with a prompt on it to open it. Now, this is the first openable door in the game outside of the locked keycard doors, so I was naturally intrigued. Opening this door leads to a strange cutscene, where an unnamed, never-before-seen character is fighting a giant, disgusting Jabba the Hutt thing and... Are those babies covered in peanut butter? Oh god. After the confusing and rather poorly executed cutscene finishes, I'm left to my devices to find what I came here for. I press on, going deeper and deeper, exploring the rooms of the rich elite who used to live here. I steal food, ammo, cold hard cash, and the golden armor. Oh, and also I got a katana, which literally trivializes the rest of the game. I literally had a shotgun in my backpack, and this was better. Acquiring these goods, I head back up and go to the final bunker, stepping in and beginning my final quest. I toss a prayer out for Ginny and Kmart and trudge on. This cave led me to the penthouse suite of none other than Edward Puffton, the gentleman whom I was here to find. Now, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Mr. Puffton is filthy rich. And Ginny, my old girl, old pal, she's his daughter. Are you piecing together my game plan here? I keep on her good side, ask his permission to marry her, though I'm not sure which hand I would be putting the ring on in this case, and voila, I'm set for life. If only I could find this old fuck. Some murder and a hole in a bathroom wall later, and I'm at the golden door. The final point of no return that'll lead me to him. I open the door and begin a strangely long trek through the deepest corners of the cave systems. There's a bunch of gangly limbed enemies down here to try and swarm me, but the katana mixed with the golden armor makes extremely quick work of them. I was saving all my ammo for the big stuff because I thought there was going to be a boss at the end, but that boss never showed up. Instead, what I got was another strange cutscene. Now, it may not show through the story that I'm weaving in this video, but I actually was trying to pay attention to all of the emails and lore bits stranded throughout the island, and I'll try to explain what happens next with a bit of a SparkNotes version. Mr. Puffton buys this island out with his large sum of money, and proceeds to bring his company here to mine the resources and to find an artifact. Eventually, they do find it, the Rubik's Cube. And that's where we are right now. Wow. Well, there's something special about this cube. First off, it's already solved. And second, every 8 cycles, which is an undetermined amount of time, but I think it's referring to months based on the timeline I've made up in my head, the cube does something weird. It shifts through to another dimension for a couple of minutes. This dimensional shift is so powerful that anyone close to the cube that isn't in the cube turns into one of the various mutants we've seen strewn about in the caves. But all's good, because despite me telling them to stay home, somehow Kelvin and Ginny find their way into the cube. Seriously, how do they do this? Kelvin, you fucking legend. In the cube, we all witness some trippy shit, and that's it. We hop on a helicopter and head home. Some island getaway. I can't believe I used vacation days for this shit. All in all, Sons of the Forest is a bit of an enigma to me. While I enjoyed the atmosphere and the idea of the game at first, the longer I played, the more I disliked about it. Playing alone left me surrendering to the at times lackluster sound design, the walking left me extremely bored, and the enemies weren't enough of a threat to ever feel actually scary, especially once I caught footing while playing. I'm not new to the survival genre, but I would never go as far as to say it's my favorite either. So maybe that's the problem. It might just not be for me. All I know is that my solo experience with this game was lacking. But it's a good thing I had some friends who also had the game, because I joined one session with them at the time of writing this, and it may have single-handedly made me not regret spending money on this game. Let me show you why. We start off after crashing in the mountains, and Sky starts saying some sketchy shit. I don't have audio proof of her saying this, but it sounded like she was scheming to kill Kelvin. The idea must have been insatiable, for the next thing I knew, he was down on the ground. I panicked watching my friend in the midst of being murdered and rushed to help him, but it seems like there was nothing I could do. I can't believe someone did this.
Skylar just murdered an innocent man with a tarp. She choked him out. That's fucked up, Sky.
Everyone else loads into the scene, and off-rip, the vibes are off. With someone dead already, this fun camping trip is now a murder mystery. Deciding we can't play this game of Clue up in the mountains, we start making our way down to the island. Dark tells me about a trick you can do using the crafting book to negate falling damage. Turns out he may have fucking lied. I pass out and find myself in the midst of a cannibal camp, with no gear, no meds, no health, and no one to save me. Until a beacon of hope. Turns out it was just Sky, who I already suspected of murder, so I wasn't ready to relax just yet. These cannibals gave us a hard time for a while before the cavalry came in to truly save the day.
Dude, imagine if we had Kelvin with us right now.
We start heading over to get the flashlight before we find a place to settle down, when suddenly, who the fuck is that? Okay, so get this. I didn't have Dark or Zero in my friends list prior to this, so I left the lobby open to non-Steam friends because I wanted them to join. Little did I know, this left us susceptible to raiders of a different kind. Random ass people. This is Blizzardio. He doesn't speak, he doesn't type, he simply instills fear. And he's coming right for us. When he finally finds us, we kind of panic.
Get on the ground!
And Brotato Chip murders him in cold blood in front of all of us.
Listen, that was just a warning. That was just a warning, but I'll get you back up now. That was just a warning. That was just a warning.
Yeah, and if you press T...
Run!
We were unsure if friend or foe, so I let it slide, but this is definitely making him look much more suspicious in the Kelvin murder case. We're still in the first 48 hours though, so there's still time. Moving forward, we find a place to settle down, a beautiful vista plotted next to a river that has easy access to supplies and pre-dug graves. This land would be perfect for our brand new 5-bed, 3-bath plus den condo. Simply $3,400 a month, utilities not included. Dark and Zero get to building, and Skyfly, Brotato Chip, and myself head out to gather some supplies, which includes the most essential supply of all, a pistol.
So you want to turn the safety off?
Oh, it's off.
So you want your finger firmly gripping the, not too tight. Whoa!
We do some testing to see if any of us are bulletproof. The answer is maybe, and head back to the crib.
I wish Kelvin could see me now. He'd be so proud.
The guys are making some good headway, seemingly spawning logs out of nowhere. Zero runs off into the forest never to be seen again, and we continue building and collecting supplies. We're celebrating a successful day hanging around the fire, and Dark wants to cuddle. I oblige, and wait, what's happening?
No!
No! What just happened?
Somehow he pushed me through the ground. I had to drown myself underneath the map to get back.
Hey, I just had an out-of-body experience.
No way, really?
Ever since the accident, I'm prone to shitting my pants and I'm scared of squirrels.
He then does it to Brotato Chip, but the effect was a bit different.
Are you still swimming? Whoa!
After some not so effective problem solving,
Oh, here it comes.
You just wait. Just give it a
Oh, here it is.
Here it comes.
things chilled out for a bit, until a new visitor arrived, and she was responding on the mic.
Kristen Crawford paging. Kristen Crawford, 23.
Hello?
I knew I had to take this time to pounce, questioning her about the Kelvin situation.
If you happen to look around and you see like a guy named Kelvin laying down, don't bother him. He's just taking a nap.
I think that it's dead, but okay.
That sounds suspicious. Did you kill him? Kristen Crawford? I think you must have killed him.
I know, I literally, how did I kill him? I just spawned in. I didn't even notice he was there until I turned around.
She didn't have answers, but she definitely didn't sound innocent. While she was up on the mountain, another suspect joined us.
Subi Speed?
Nice. I like this.
Subi Speed, you did it?
Subi Speed, we need to hold a trial. A man named Kelvin has been murdered on this server, and we have reasonable suspicion that you did it.
Subi didn't talk, but he could type, and I find it hard to read tone over text, so he was immediately suspicious in my books. Kristen then starts accusing him of murdering Kelvin,
I witnessed you kill Calvin. I was just there. I witnessed you kill him.
and the investigation team is hyped to see the case revived.
Ladies and gentlemen, if Kristen Crawford 23 can open her emergency pack when she gets down to the base, we can clear her of all crimes.
After more questioning, Kristen makes her way down the mountain. We acquaint ourselves with her and wait for Subi to arrive so we can hold a proper trial and get to the bottom of this murder. We host a party of sorts while we wait, and then he arrives, Subi Speed. Now, I haven't been a detective for very long, but I was always told to trust a gut feeling, and the gut feeling I got about Subi was...
All right, now that everybody's here, I think it's time that we move forward with the trial. We need to make sure that we hold justice. Whoa! This guy's swinging at...
We dispatched him quickly after this to teach him a lesson. He heads back down the mountain, and I've never seen such damning evidence of a cold-hearted murderer in my life.
Subi, I'm gonna give Subi, I know that you're holding a grenade over there. I need you to trust me, and I need to trust you, okay? You know what? We can be friends, man.
I'm starting a grenade.
After this mishap, Subi Speed disappears into the darkness and seemingly gets away with the murder of Kelvin and attempted murder of everybody at our place. I may never be able to rest until he's brought to justice, but at least I can breathe lighter knowing it was nobody here who killed Kelvin. Dark heads out to hunt Subi down, leaving us to build up from the foundation of the place that he started. And did we ever? After some logging
Logging so hard right now.
and some building, this place was starting to look really 5-star. Of course, it couldn't come without complications. us. The cannibals weren't stoked that we were building this castle of a condo, and they weren't going to be invited to any of the parties at it. So they made a party themselves and began their assault. It was a grim battle to the death, tooth and nail, blood and thunder to ward them off. But we did it. We held our ground, and through the shared trauma of war, Skyfly, Brotato Chip, and myself became a whole lot closer. It was at this time I had a confession to make.
I'm gonna tell you guys a secret.
Okay.
You can't tell anybody.
I'm ready for the secret.
I killed Kelvin.
No.